If you want to become a better daughter or a better child for your parents, you should spend more time with people's families. Because when you spend time with other people's families, you get to see how they treat their parents. And one, if they treat them good, then you get inspired to treat your parents that way. And two, if they don't treat their parents well, it makes you think about, do I treat my parents that way too? Because when I spend time with other people's families, like with my parents, I get the instant mirror treatment. In Korean, it's called 거울 치료, meaning like you get to see your situation from a different perspective and you get to see and think about, am I doing that too to my parents? It's so funny because that works wonders. It works so well. That's something I recommend to all oldest daughters and oldest children because when you hear about other oldest children, and for people around me, I've seen a lot of absent oldest children. They're not really present in their parents' lives. They kind of just do their own thing and they're just out there living their own lives. Usually, it's the middle child stepping in to become the oldest child figure because the oldest child is absent. And when the oldest child is absent, I understand why they are absent because they do a lot for the family and it's really hard for them and they just feel really burdened with carrying the entire family and they just want to do their own thing and they just want to live their own life. And that's completely understandable because I was there too. But something that I changed in my life was delegating. And that was one of my weaknesses that I mentioned in all my interview questions. I always said I was bad at delegating. I addressed my weakness and I started delegating tasks to my brothers. And I think that's the best thing you could do as an oldest child. When I went to Thailand with my mom and dad, just the three of us in May 2024, I had no one to delegate it with. So I was literally so stressed. I was trying to find stuff to do, where we should eat, and booking hotels and etc etc etc. Like there's so many things that goes with trip planning and I was so stressed. But when we went again with the twins in December 2024, I challenged myself to delegate these tasks. And I was able to do it very successfully. And I'm so happy I did that because now when we go on vacation together, it's very automated. My brothers are able to step in for me when I'm doing something. So it's not just me trying to do everything on a family trip. I recommend that to my fellow oldest daughters and fellow oldest children because if I didn't do that, I would have just been so stressed. And that's something I wrote about in my journal. I noticed that when I went to Thailand in May, I wasn't really able to enjoy the trip because I was so stressed and I was just constantly like, what's next? What's next? Even though I had a good time, I feel like I wasn't able to really soak in the whole vacation and the whole trip. But when I went again with my brothers and my parents in December, I was able to really soak everything in because my brothers were able to step in for me and I was able to just turn my brain off and enjoy the moment. And that's honestly the best feeling for an oldest daughter. I love that I was just able to walk around and just be led. I was like, wow, I don't have to be the Google Maps and I don't have to be the navigator. And that was really good. If you're an oldest daughter who is going on a family trip soon, I highly recommend delegating tasks to your siblings because at the end of the day, we share one family and it shouldn't be just you carrying the burden. As someone who has done it already, it's the best thing that you could do for yourself. At first, it was really hard because I had to explain the process of how I want it done. It took my brother some time to figure it out, but once you do it, it's the best thing ever. They understand me so well and they do it how I want it to be done, which is like the best thing ever. You might be wondering like what did I delegate to my brothers? It was mostly navigating and finding places to eat or get a massage at and reading reviews on Google Maps to see if this place was fit for our family. I've been scammed once on Google Maps. That's a story for another day. I was explaining to my brothers how to read Google reviews and to see if this place is good. And they were able to practice it and I was able to help them by encouraging them, not disciplining them. I believe that encouragement goes a longer way than discipline. So if you are delegating tasks to your siblings, make sure you encourage them, don't discipline them, give them more encouragement and just guide them the way that you think it should be done. I promise you, your life will be so much easier. And I forgot to introduce myself, but hi, my name's Esther and welcome to Suda with Nuna. back to the mirror treatment, I also believe that mirror treatments can also happen within your family. If I see my brother being rude or saying something mean to my mom, we kind of address it. Me and my brothers, we address it and be like, hey, that wasn't cool. Or if I say something to my parents, if I say it with attitude, my brothers call me out on it. And that's a very healthy relationship that we have where we are able to address each other. And I hope your siblings do it too. But if you are an only child, I recommend spending time with other people's families, like your cousins or your mother's friends or etc etc. I've seen some kids who are really rude to their mom and dad, or I've seen some unfortunate cases, and it's tough. But from that, I'm able to learn my own lesson, and I'm gaining insight and wisdom from that situation. It makes me think like, am I treating my parents this way too? Or have my parents felt this way? It makes me reflect. So I'm very grateful because I get to think about and reflect on those experiences. This episode was kind of like a mix of both, like delegating tasks with your siblings, but also spending time with other people's families, and you'll get the mirror treatment. In a way, it'll help you treat your parents better, and it'll help you treat your family better, because if you hear about some other people's families, they have it worse than what I might have it as. And it makes you reflect naturally, because you get to just think about like, oh, have I ever mistreated my parents and stuff like that. But it's always good to just take time to reflect and take time to really think like, oh, have I done that to my brothers or my parents? In conclusion, I hope that you get to have the opportunity to spend time with other people's families, and you get to see how they treat their family and their family members, because it'll help you reflect and become a better family member to your family, and learn to delegate tasks with your siblings, because that will make your life so much easier. That is all for today's video, and comment your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.